Kính thưa quý vị khán thính giả của chương trình Phố Bosa TV, hôm nay ngay tại Sài Gòn chúng tôi có dịp gặp gỡ và sẽ có một câu chuyện với bà Hoàng hậu Sultana Mariam từ nước Philippines, cũng như là luật sư Jordan Bowen từ Ba Lan. Họ sẽ nói về những cái hoạt động của hội từ thiện của họ, và đặc biệt sẽ nói về một cái vấn đề hoặc là một vấn nạn đang xảy ra ở Việt Nam và một vài nước liên quan tới việc mua bán một cách bất hợp pháp những cái tước vị liên quan tới Hoàng gia Philippines. Câu chuyện này chắc chắn nó sẽ đánh động nhiều người liên quan tới vấn nạn này, khi mà người ta phải bỏ tiền ra để mua rồi tạo ra cái tình trạng mua bán bất hợp pháp. Câu chuyện sẽ bằng tiếng Anh và có subtitle bằng tiếng Việt cho mọi người cùng theo dõi. Thank you very much, Sultana, for having time with us today, and the lawyer.
Our pleasure, Mr. Lam.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First, could you introduce a little bit about yourself and also about the lawyer and your organization that you are serving now?
Thank you. Yes, I am Sultana Mariam Amor Torres. I'm the founder of We Care for Humanity. It's a nonprofit organization based in United States. And also, I'm the founder of the Royal Maharlika. It's an organization uniting kingdoms and tribes towards peace and economic development, and also to be the voice of these tribes and kingdoms to the United Nations. And of course, I'm here with my cabinet member from Poland, please.
Hello, I'm Jordan Bowen. I am the Royal Legal Advisor for the Royal Maharlika, as well as the International Spokesperson for Royal Maharlika.
Great, thank you. Can you be a little bit more specific about your relation with the Philippines kingdom?
Yes, His Majesty Sultan Abdulaziz Salem Mastura Kudarat V is the reigning 25th Sultan of Mindanao. My direct relation to him is I am his adopted relative, and he has given me a title as the head of this Royal Maharlika. And recently we held an enthronement in the Philippines last December 12, and I was officially enthroned as Sultana. So technically this is my third to be enthroned as a royal of the Philippines, of Mindanao.
Great, thank you. As I remember, I saw you in a few events in California before, but what brought you today in Vietnam?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that we have so many friends in Vietnam, and I love them dearly. And also, I'm here to celebrate Christmas and New Year with my whole family, 14 of us, together with my family from Poland. We're here to celebrate Christmas and New Year, and also to spread the good news of We Care for Humanity. We're here to give some donations to underprivileged children, especially the children with disability. So we do this every year, do charity work. In fact, we're doing this Global Santa program in 20 countries simultaneously. So we have in the Philippines, in Uganda, in Africa, in Asia, in Europe as well.
In 20 countries.
20 countries.
And you have some in Vietnam.
Yes, we have done in the last November, December, and in the past years as well. And especially during the pandemic, we have extended our mission here.
Great, thank you so much. I would like to go right into the issue that going on right now, and some people are not aware of that, but like other people involved into it, which is illegal selling of the title, royal title from the Philippines. Could you tell us about that?
Of course, it transpires that we have received information that a Vietnamese citizen, LY THAO KY, is selling royal titles meaning prince or princess, to Vietnamese citizens for anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 US. Now, of course, this is an illegal activity because these are not real titles. The certificates that she is making are not signed by the Supreme Sultan of Mindanao. He's the only person, according to the tribal constitution of the Philippines, he's the only individual that can give out royal titles. Now, LY THAO KY is supported by a so-called sultana, also from Mindanao, but she too does not have any authority to present anybody with the title prince or princess. She cannot enthrone anybody in this position. She's able to give noble titles like sir or lord or lady, or the English equivalent, Datu would be duke, but it's not in any way possible for her to be giving any certificate appointing anybody as prince or princess. Now, this is an illegal activity. It should not be happening.
Did you say it's the price from 2,000 to 4,000?
2,000 to 20,000 US dollars.
2,000 to 20,000
Indeed, indeed.
Per person.
dollar.
US
US
dollars.
dollars.
Yes.
Per person.
Yes.
And how serious the issue is right now? Do you have any proof or evidence that it is already been done?
Of course, over the last 3 days, we spent time with the Vietnamese authorities, including the police, both local and district. And we also made a visit to the Filipino embassy here in Ho Chi Minh City. We've received information from the police and other I would suppose government agencies that LY THAO KY has been involved in fraud, embezzlement and other white-collar crimes over the last 5 years. So she's already somebody that the Vietnamese authorities have flagged up. They know that she's an opportunist. She likes to take these opportunities where maybe other people would not see a business. She's seeing a business opportunity. They've apprehended her on a number of occasions, but now it's time to bring LY THAO KY to an end. She operates through her business, which is Mimosa Bliss Corporation here in Vietnam. She has many associates through Cambodia, Korea, and also in the Philippines
Thailand.
and in Thailand, who are working together to sell these titles. What other activities she's been involved in before, it would not be fair for me to divulge this information. What's important now is the illegal activity that she's conducting, not only selling of titles, but the use of intellectual property. The images of Her Royal Highness, who sat beside me, the images of other royalty from other royal houses, including the Supreme King of Uganda, His Royal Highness Constantine. He is the head king of the Ugandan Kings Association. He also is very upset and concerned with the fact that LY THAO KY is using his images to sell these royal titles.
So with those countries involved, as you described, can it be considered like international crime right here?
I believe so. It's definitely cross-border crime. She's already working in many different Southeast Asian countries. And of course, she has connections to the US. It is possible that she's looking to sell these titles to Vietnamese citizens living in the United States, who of course maybe don't understand the makeup or the constitution of the tribal government of the Philippines. They don't understand that these titles are not real titles. And so yes, essentially this is an international crime. It's definitely fraud, and it needs to be stopped.
So when you talk to the Vietnamese authority, Vietnamese police, what is the response, or what is the plan for them about this case?
They've already attended a number of LY THAO KY's events that have been held here in Vietnam. She had an event planned on the 22nd of December. However, this event did not go ahead, and we presume that this is because she was aware that Her Royal Highness, the Sultana, is here in Vietnam. But she's moved this event to early February and has a second event planned in March. They would like to apprehend her. They'd like to attend this event as they have done previously, make a record of the awards that she's given out, or the titles that she's given out, because this, of course, builds evidence against against LY THAO KY and in the case against LY THAO KY. We are very grateful to the Vietnamese authorities for them providing us with the information that we need about LY THAO KY, for them looking into this current activity, and also to the Filipino embassy here in Vietnam, who are also working with us to bring this forward to the authorities. Essentially, we'd like to stop LY THAO KY's travel to the Philippines, and we'd like to stop the travel of those people supporting LY THAO KY from the Philippines here to Vietnam. To give you some background, she's working with another so-called sultana who is signing the certificates. She has a planned visit to Vietnam to award or present these titles that don't exist, and we'd like to stop this from happening.
So you mentioned the other sultana, mean like someone gave her the authority to do so. Is this enough for LY THAO KY to operate her so-called illegal selling?
Of course not. Just because she has been appointed or enthroned as a sultana, as I have said earlier, she has no authority to give out any royal titles. Our sultana, who is sat beside us, also does not have any authority to give out the title prince or princess or queen or king. The only person who has authority to do so is the Supreme Sultan of Mindanao. If he has given to this sultana, who we are talking about, some sort of written permission that she can appoint other people, it certainly would not be foreigners. That's the first thing. It would be those people of Filipino descent, or people who have done something that is noble, or something that's worth them being appointed this title. So the fact that this sultana is signing the certificates is not enough to make these titles legitimate.
Talking about the constitution, is this not allow the people outside of Philippines, not as Philippine citizen, to receive the title?
Let me make something clear here that yes, of course, the Filipino titles are for Filipino people. We're looking at these titles, these honorary titles being given to those people who have some sort of connection to the original kings and queens, those people that fought for Vietnam, the first people. Other people might be given titles for their noble work, for their charitable work, for their work for society, for some big scientific feat, but they would not be charged for these titles.
I'd like to answer that to support his statement. What we can give are honorary titles, but not the real royal titles. So there's a huge difference between the royal titles and the noble titles. And honorary is another different category.
Give us some example
Of honorary titles, honorary Datu. For example, we have given awards on last December 12. These awards were given to philanthropists, dignitaries of the world, like former president. And we call them honorary Datu. Honorary is just like an honorary mayor of a city, but there he's not the real mayor, but we considered him honorary. Without the word honorary, and you just call someone a prince, then you are giving him a title as a royal prince. Even they gave a sash of a prince, certificate of a prince, which is illegal, because the only legal, legitimate titles are coming from the Supreme Sultan of Mindanao, rather, with the seal, with the signature.
Probably you've been watching this going on, so do you have any kind of numbers that how many people get bought this kind of title?
Well, I had an opportunity to meet with LY THAO KY in Manila in the Philippines on the 12th of December, and with her in her entourage were at least 15 people, of which I saw 6 people receiving titles. So the number, of course, is not clear because she has additional events happening in the beginning of the new year, but it's in its 20s, 30s at least. She's definitely made a lot of money. I met with other people at the same event who informed me that they had also given money to LY THAO KY and to the same circle of people. So she's not only making money in US dollars, but also in the Philippines she's making some money too. And we're easily in around 300 to 400,000 pesos. So this is away from the US dollars. She's a great entrepreneur, but this is not the way she should be doing business.
On the on the buyer side, and maybe we call that the victim, because if this is a scam, when they buy the title, they lose their money. What about the legal issue? Do they commit any kind of illegal activities as a buyer that they don't know?
Of course, this is also fraud in a different degree, to use the title that's been purchased before your name or in some business activities. This is of course not legal. It's definitely not legal in Europe, it's definitely not legal in the States, and it's definitely not legal in the Philippines. So I'm almost certain that the surrounding Asian countries also have some rules against the use of titles that have been purchased and that have not been officially awarded or presented. Our request to these people is that, of course, don't buy these titles. That's the first thing. It's common sense or logic that these titles don't exist. We are in the 21st century. Those people that she's approaching are somewhat educated. They have some money to be able to afford these titles. Even though it might look good for your business, for your circle, or it might be useful to use, even for the admittance of children to school. This is something that I heard in the Philippines, that having this title might even help somebody get their child into a school. Their complications are much greater than just a piece of paper. You lose your money, and we would like that these people who are thinking about getting titles, number one, don't, and those people who have purchased titles who are to receive titles in the future, they need to report this to their local authorities, to the police, as soon as possible. If they're here in Vietnam, they should do it straight away. This will all come together as evidence in our case against LY THAO KY. And also there is an organization which the Sultana will explain about. There is an organization in the Philippines where you can verify the legitimacy of somebody's title.
That organization is called the Sultan Kudarat Descendants Organization of the Philippines. So all the descendants of the Sultan Kudarat, which is where we descended from, that's why we have the royal family, they can connect with them and ask for the legitimacy of these royals who present themselves, to the public. But also, may I add on why this is illegal? Most importantly, is they're using Royal Maharlika, which is an organization. It is not a kingdom. Apart from the Vietnamese victims, we have Filipino victims as well, who bought titles from the same sultana just recently. 2 Rajanatas, meaning princesses, of the Philippines, of Central Luzon, of Nueva Ecija. I mean, no offense to the people who fell victims for this. They paid a lot of money. In our money, it's 150,000 pesos, $3,000. They paid for the titles, which does not exist, and they use our organization, Royal Maharlika. It is not a kingdom. The only kingdom that the title should come from is from the royal house of Mindanao or other royal houses like Maranao. Those are the kingdoms. The titles are coming from those, not from Royal Maharlika. So, to those people who bought this title, I'm very sorry, but you have to go back and check with the one you bought the titles from, because this is not right. We want to correct this. We want to stop corruption. We condemn selling of titles, royal titles, especially to our own Filipino people, and of course the Vietnamese people who already succumbed to this kind of corruption.
And as I know, that lady also commit into some activities, such as paying for the newspaper to write about her?
Indeed, on the first day that we started our investigations in Vietnam, we received many links, 10, 15 links to different newspapers or TV channels where she has been on as a guest, and she's announced that she is now a princess of the Philippines, which of course is not true. The Filipino government will confirm this, the tribal government will confirm this. She is, unfortunately to say, a nobody in the Philippines. She does not hold any power or title.
And also she used the seal from your organization as well.
Yes, in the past she used my seal and as a certificate. So she sold the certificate. We didn't know anything about at that time, but now people are testifying that she sold her certificates from $100 to $300 per certificate.
So do you have like tangible evidence that she used your...
Yes, we have the certificate with my seal on it, with my logo on it.
But not only, we also have letters and emails that were sent to LY THAO KY requesting her to immediately cease and desist. But of course, she did not cease and desist. She found other business opportunities on the back of the Sultana, which is completely and outright unfair and illegal.
So for the victims, will they, are you advising them to like return the title somehow, some way, or like just forget about the title that they already purchased?
At this point, we have today set up an email address to which victims can contact, on which victims can contact us. I will be willing to provide free legal advice, preliminary legal advice as to what steps they should take going forward, because of course the more people that come forward to us, the stronger our cases against LY THAO KY, and the Royal Maharlika together with the Sultana are very grateful to those that are willing to stand up against this grave injustice. This legal advice will of course entail individuals sending to me an email describing what the situation looks like, any proofs that they have, messages, call logs, or even the actual certificates. And then on the basis of this, I'll be happy to meet with them online for a face-to-face consultation and support them, putting them in contact with the embassy and with the police officials that we have built a relationship with here.
Is there a chance that they're gonna get their money back from...
Unfortunately, I cannot promise that. I don't know what the financial status of LY THAO KY is at this time. From seeing her and from her stance, the clothes she was wearing, the jewelry she had, one would believe that she's quite a wealthy lady, especially with all this money that she's taken on board. However, we've received information that she owes a lot of money, owes millions to different people and to different institutions. This could be where the money's going. Look, justice outweighs any return of money. Let's get justice first, and we can put a claim in afterwards for losses and damages that have been suffered.
Thank you so much for both of you to be here and to tell the about the problem, to be ending the story today. What advice or what do you want? What thought you want to share to the people who already purchased the illegal selling of the title like that, or for the people who might considering that in the future?
Let us reiterate the fact that the reason why we are so passionate about this topic is that these royal titles, a legitimate sultana we have sat next to us, these royal titles belonged to those people who were the first people of the Philippines. There is a long history of the efforts that they went to support the growth of their country, and there are still many indigenous groups and tribes in the Philippines that live a traditional lifestyle. We want to protect them, and that this is the first step by stopping the illegal sale of titles. Those people that have already purchased titles, again, I'm willing to support them. They should reach out to the Royal Maharlika. I'm sure that you will share our email address at the end of this video. They should do this as soon as possible, and those people currently in the process of purchasing royal titles, similarly they should contact us. Those people thinking about buying royal titles, if after this video they still want to buy a royal title, then unfortunately, Mr. Land, there is no way they're going to learn, and they will learn the hard way when they too are involved in this criminal activity. It's very important that those people that have already or are about to buy, in the process of buying these titles, because this is the only way that we'll be able to stop this.
And Sultana Mariam is a real Sultana. What can you share with our audience?
Well, all I can say to the people, royal titles are only valid when you use that title for a good reason, for the right reason. So there are people who are carrying some titles but using it for greed or to dominate other people, to advantage of other people. This is not royal at all. With titles or not, we are all brothers and sisters, okay? We are all considered royal or noble as long as you have a good heart, as long as you use it. You use that simple or even the smallest title you have for a good reason, for helping humanity. That's all.
Thank you. Also, I know that when you are here in Vietnam, you also gonna have some charity work very soon in the near future.
Yes, actually, yes. We are heading tomorrow, Christmas Day, to Phu Ying City, and we are helping a group of children with disability. This is our program under Global Santa. We do this every year. We help at least 20 countries yearly. Little help just to make these children happy on this special day. So we will be distributing food packs, feeding program, school packs. I heard that where we have that.
16 of them.
Yes, but of course, under We Care for Humanity, we want to do more sustainable programs, which we're going to launch very soon. The Bake Shops for Humanity. This is to end hunger and poverty, a program of We Care for Humanity. So very soon we will put bake shops here in Vietnam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
As always for Formosa TV, when we cover a story, we cover, as always, Formosa TV, when we cover a story, we cover both sides of the issue. So we really hope to see the person mentioned here a lot, LY THAO KY, or the other Sultana who supporting these activities. So we can see the whole picture. And for the people out there who try to buy the title, which is not existed, as the seller promised, you have the story here from Sultana Mariam and lawyer Jordan Bowen. I'm gonna have some Vietnamese ending here. Câu chuyện của chúng tôi với Hoàng hậu Sultana Mariam cũng như là luật sư Jordan Bowen hy vọng đã đem lại nhiều thông tin liên quan tới một cái vấn nạn hiện nay, đó là rất nhiều người đã bỏ tiền ra để mà mua một cái gọi là một cái tước vị mà theo hai vị nãy giờ trình bày là một loại danh hảo không có tồn tại. Thì hy vọng là mọi người cũng đã nghe được chuyện này và có những cái quyết định rất riêng, rất sáng suốt cho chính mình. Và như mọi khi, Formosa TV luôn luôn có nhiều cái chiều hướng để mà đề cập tới một vấn đề. Chúng ta nghe hai vị ở đây đã trình bày một cách rất cặn kẽ về cái vấn đề, thì chúng tôi cũng hy vọng là một nhân vật mà được đề cập tới nãy giờ ở đây rất là nhiều, đó là bà LY THAO KY, cũng như là một vị Sultana, một bà hoàng hậu khác của Philippines sẽ có những cái sự trình bày của họ trên Formosa TV trong thời gian tới. Hy vọng là với đầy đủ thông tin thì mọi người sẽ có cái quyết định riêng cho chính mình. Câu chuyện của chúng tôi sẽ tạm chấm dứt ở đây với hai vị này và sẽ tiếp tục trong những lần tới. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
hope you
Mr.
have
Lam.
like a great holidays in Vietnam.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.